On a freezing winter night inside an elevator, a mother suddenly took off both her own coat and her 4-year-old daughter's coat. She removed their shoes as well. Barefoot, carrying her child in her arms, she walked out of the elevator. After that moment, none of the building's 13 security cameras ever captured them again. The mother and daughter vanished from the world as if they had evaporated into thin air. This became one of Taiwan's most shocking unsolved mysteries for 16 years, often called the Taiwanese Alyssa Lam case. Her name was Liu Huijun, 37 years old. Her husband was a long-term alcoholic and had a serious history of domestic violence. Unable to endure the abuse and constant conflict in the marriage, the couple divorced at one point. However, for the sake of their young daughter, they later remarried. On January 20, 2008, Liu Huijun once again had a fierce argument with her husband. Around 2 p.m., she left home on a motorcycle with her 4-year-old daughter. What made the situation strange was that she brought absolutely nothing with her. No wallet, no bank cards, no phone, not even her identification documents. After leaving, Liu first took her daughter to her parents' house. There, she cried continuously and repeatedly said that she could no longer endure her life. After staying briefly, she borrowed her younger brother's motorcycle and left again with her daughter. When her family asked where she was going, she remained silent. That was the last time anyone close to them ever saw the mother and daughter alive. That evening, Liu Huijun's husband called her mother and learned that she had visited earlier but had already left. He waited for his wife to return home, but she never did. On January 21st, the mother and daughter were still missing, so the husband reported them to the police. Authorities and family members immediately began a search operation. 8 days later, on January 28th, police found the motorcycle Liu had ridden away from home, parked outside the Yunlin Finance building, about 8 kilometers from her house. One detail at the scene seemed extremely unusual. The motorcycle key was still inserted in the ignition, as if it had been abandoned in a hurry rather than parked normally. Police questioned the building manager. He recalled that around 8:40 p.m. on the night of the disappearance, a woman behaving strangely entered the building with a small child. Because they were unfamiliar faces and their late-night appearance seemed suspicious, he approached them routinely. Liu Huijun appeared nervous and only replied briefly, "I'm here to visit a friend," before quickly walking into the elevator with her daughter. 4 days later, the manager discovered scattered clothing inside the elevator. While trying to identify the owner, he reviewed the surveillance footage and uncovered the video that would later shock all of Taiwan. In the footage, Liu and her daughter entered the elevator and pressed the button for the 11th floor, the top floor of the building. Then came the most disturbing moment of the entire case. As the elevator slowly rose, Liu remained eerily calm. Methodically, she removed her red coat, then her daughter's coat, and finally both of their shoes. The entire process was slow, emotionless, and ritualistic, almost as if she were carrying out some predetermined ceremony. When the elevator doors opened, Liu, barefoot and lightly dressed in the freezing cold, carried her similarly underdressed daughter toward the stairwell. That was the final time they were ever seen on camera.